Now, before that deal was announced, demonstrators took to the streets in hundreds of cities on Saturday, pushing for more serious gun control reform. It comes from people in Uvalde, Texas. It comes as people in Uvalde, Texas, try to pick up the pieces nearly 3 weeks after the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary School. NBC News correspondent Antonia Hylton joins us now from Uvalde. Hey, Antonia, thanks for being with us this morning. So, what's the reaction been like there at this point to the news of this possible gun deal?
Good morning, Savannah. Yesterday, as I was right here on the memorial grounds in Town Square, people were learning about this bipartisan deal. And it was met with unanimous praise. People were overwhelmingly happy to hear about this. But at the same time, there was a bit of hesitation from folks. And I think that cynicism, that hesitation, stems from the level of hurt and anger here. People are still reeling over the death of 19 children and 2 beloved teachers here. And, the reality is no matter what these lawmakers do, nothing's going to bring those 19 babies back. It's not going to make these families whole again. And so for some folks here, they didn't want to pat lawmakers too much on the back. They didn't want to give them too much credit. Take a listen to some of the conversations that I had right here at the memorial site yesterday. Are you encouraged that lawmakers are actually trying to do something?
I am, but who knows, they can always say all these things, but if it really passes, that's a different, But I'm glad that, if they'll come together into a consensus to do something, then that's, yeah. We'd love to see it.
Well, I think they should pass it and do strict laws. Because the person that's going to follow the rules is going to get the gun. They're going to get whatever they like, and they're going to follow the rules.
I spoke to people who were military, who were gun owners, and there seemed to be a unanimous agreement that better background checks were necessary, that an 18-year-old like the gunman here shouldn't be able to get their hands on something like an AR-15. And so, again, there's a recognition that this is a deal. It's not a bill yet even. And so people were a bit hesitant to celebrate too much, but they're happy to hear something's finally going to be done. But at the same time, they feel like this could have been done. This could have happened after any other number of tragedies here in the United States. Why did, we have to lose 21 lives here in Uvalde, Savannah?
Absolutely. Antonia, now there have actually been 254 mass shootings this year alone. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive. We focus on all the lives lost, of course, but there are so many more lives that are changed forever. What are people there in Uvalde saying about the effect the shooting has had on them?
People are reeling. I was here as a young child, was being, laid to rest just about a block and a half away from where I am right now this weekend. And I, at the same time, was interviewing an 8-year-old here who was bursting into tears, saying that, she is afraid. She is, of course, mourning these kids. She lives close by to Uvalde. She doesn't go to Robb Elementary or the school system here, but it was affecting her. And I thought that my conversation with that 8-year-old really reflected how this is affecting kids all over Texas, kids all over the United States. And so there is this sense here that there has been immense loss, that perhaps these changes are coming too late. And here in town, from the residents and the victims' families, there's still this desire to see accountability, to see someone come forward and take responsibility for what happened to the children. Of course, as we've talked about all the new reporting coming out of the New York Times and Texas Tribune about the actions of the police chief here, that's on the mind of a lot of folks. And so there is mourning, there's gratefulness for this federal action, but there is a desire to see results and accountability at the local level. Take a listen to a conversation that I had with one child and their father here yesterday. Does this change the way you feel about school?
Yes, definitely. Now I'm still kind of scared to go to school.
I'm sorry. How do you talk about it as a family?
You have to, because it can happen anywhere. So you have to give them the knowledge so that they understand in a situation you never know. You gotta react.
A lot of the families here want to see the school's chief of police, Pete Arredondo, held responsible. And for them, part of the healing process is that accountability. It is someone coming forward, taking responsibility for what happened here at the school district. So it's really got to be those two pieces, action from lawmakers and leaders, but accountability and someone stepping forward and saying that they're sorry to these families. Savannah.
Antonia Hylton, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.